Okay, just a quick, hopefully quick. My videos tend to not be that quick. Update on kind of what we're thinking for the FJ Cruiser Stealth Camper in terms of fine tuning. And when I say that, I mean getting into thinking exactly how we're going to be building certain elements of the camper, and really just kind of focusing on the furniture for this, and for the furniture, really focusing on the drawer boxes. Um, there are two drawers that are going to be part of the furniture. A large storage drawer, which is going to um, store pretty much everything related to cooking. The pantry is going to go in there. Um, our magma nested induction cookware, which is well seasoned from use on the boat, is going in there, and pretty much any other miscellaneous thing we can think of. I don't really know what the organization of that drawer is going to look like. We haven't quite figured that out yet. I'm just putting the largest drawer I can fit, and that's going to be on 28-inch lock-in lockout slides. You can see here those little red levers. Those are the locking mechanism for the slides, and I'm basically using the same slide for all the drawers and the fridge tray. So next to the large storage drawer will be the camp stove drawer, and also on 28-inch lock-in lockout slides. Above that will be the fridge tray, which will be on 26-inch lock-in lockout slides. So let's show the large storage drawer. So yeah, so the bottom of this drawer will have that same 5mm rubber material, which will just kind of keep things a little quieter in there. I think we may even carpet it. I'm not sure, but we're at least going to put the rubber material on the bottom, but we may carpet the sides too. We'll see. The other thing we're probably going to do with these drawer boxes. Oh, so anyway, so the big question in terms of making the drawer boxes is whether we go. I was initially feeling or thinking that we're going to go custom with this, and kind of cut the panels, CNC cut the panels, and then assemble the panels. But I think I'm leaning more towards using the vendor that I've used many times before for all of the camper van furniture that I've done. And those drawers have all been great. The 5/8 inch wall, solid birch, dovetail construction, really nice. And the vendor we've used for this has been terrific, and we've never had anything built incorrectly. I've been really happy with everything that we've received from that vendor. So I think that's the direction we're going to go in. The only limitation is on the height of the drawer box. So they have very specific heights to choose from. So for this drawer, we're probably going with 10 and an eighth in terms of height. But we have choices of bottom thickness. I think we're going to go with 3/8. But we can go quarter, 3/8, or 1/2 inch, and I think we're going 3/8. Yeah. So and we have complete control over the width and the length, or the depth, I guess. Sort of 28 inches deep. The only other question really is this drawer front. I've used drawer fronts for pretty much all the furniture I've built. It makes it look nice. It's got a nice finished look. It adds a certain amount of effort in terms of making sure that those drawer fronts are put on very carefully onto the drawer box so that they look, they look good. For this particular application, I need to cut little slots and have that done. So probably another CNC cutting job, which I may end up doing anyway, whether I use the drawer fronts or not, just to have them done. And then once that's done, I laminate them and then put the handles on if I'm using them. But I can always add them later. So I think what I'm going to do with these drawer boxes is I'm going to order them with the hand cutouts done on the front of the drawer box, just to make it easy to operate them and grab and pull them out. And then if I so choose in the future, I will add the drawer fronts. But if I was building this for someone else, I would definitely probably use the drawer fronts. Since it's just for me, I don't know. I think it'll probably be fine without them, but we'll see. So I think I might build this without them, live with it for a while, see if I like it, and then if I don't, I'll add the drawer fronts. We'll kind of play that by ear. Let's close that up. Okay, so the next is the camp stove drawer. So we've always been thinking of this as an outdoor kitchen with a hinged top, which will be laminated, basically laminated on all sides, just to make it easier to clean. And we've really been thinking about this countertop as being where we're going to be doing food prep and things like that, in addition to having a camp table, a folding camp table for that as well. So, and probably, positioning that table somewhere around here, and certainly underneath the awning. But we were also thinking that this would obviously store the camp stove, but also be where the camp stove would be located while we're cooking. So inside the drawer. After thinking about this a little bit, and also thinking about using our vendor for this drawer box, which we're thinking is probably 5 3/8 in terms of height, that using that option, that trying to make this drawer box into something that actually works with the camp stove is going to be really difficult, because we'd have to cut some sort of very large notch into the sidewall of the drawer box, and doing that neatly, with a jigsaw, I don't know. Probability of that looking really good is pretty low, I think. So not only that, but if we're cooking in there, there's going to be food splatter, whatever, and we're going to have to constantly be cleaning the inside of the drawer, which I really don't want to do. So I think we're just going to use it for storage, and just put the stove in there, and then we'll have room for 3 of those little Coleman 1-pound propane bottles, the little green guys, and then we'll stuff some dish towels and things like that around the edges of the stove and the bottles, just to kind of hold everything in place so they don't rattle around. So I think that'll work just fine. And then let me shift to the next scene. When it's time to cook, we'll pull the stove out, and then and just throw it on top of the hinged countertop and cook right on top of that. I think the finished height of the countertop above ground will be about 35 inches, roughly. So certainly countertop height, it'll be fine. And I think that'll work. That'll work just fine. If we have our folding table going, and we want maybe we want something, we're cooking something that requires 3 burners. I'm not sure why or when that would actually happen, but I suppose it's possible. We might have an induction cooktop in the FJ2 that we could throw on top of here, and then just put the camp stove on top of the folding table, cook that way. I don't know. But we've got options. So let's fold this back up. Let's go back, rid of that, and then we'll close this up. Okay, the next thing is the fridge tray. And fridge tray we're building just like we've built previous fridge trays, kind of similar design. It's basically going to have 4 stainless steel angle clips that will attach to the inside of the slides and then to the bottom of the plywood. And the top of the plywood for the tray will have that same 5mm rubber material, which will help keep that fridge in place. So between the feet of the fridge and that rubber material, I really don't think that fridge is going to move. We have designed kind of a custom angle thing with 2 slots for straps to hold the fridge down at the handle. I don't know if we're going to need it. So that's another thing that we may add at some point in the future, but probably initially we probably won't do it. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. Because I don't really see the fridge flying off the front of this. It's certainly not going to happen while we're driving the vehicle. There's nowhere for it to go. It's going to be right up against the door of the FJ. And the back of it's going to be up against the framing and the back of the seat. So that remaining rear seat. So there's really no place for the fridge to go. It can't go sideways because of this panel that's holding in the Rotopacks, the water jugs, and then the side of the cot. So it can't go sideways. It's not going to go forward. It's not going to go back. So it's really just while we're pulling that tray out, we worry about the fridge actually coming off that tray. And I think the weight of it is probably going to keep it on there. I don't really think we have much to worry about there. But we'll obviously, as we use it, we'll know. Okay, let me close that up. Okay, so the, just kind of also just in terms of prioritizing things and phasing things. So I think probably our next investment of money, it's going to be probably in improving the driving characteristics of the vehicle, and that's a suspension upgrade. We're going to be buying some Bilstein 6112s and 5160s, and basically replacing all the sort of OEM Bilsteins that came with it. That'll help a lot. We're replacing the Open Country AT2s, which came with the vehicle from the previous owner, with some Falco Wall Peaks. Those Open Countries are terrifying in the rain. And in fact, most of the time, if it's raining reasonably hard and the roads are wet and slick a little bit, I've got the vehicle in 4-wheel drive 4-high, just because it really feels like driving on ice with those tires. They're just, the traction is horrible on wet conditions. Falcons are much better. And I know the Open Country 3s are a little bit better and they've improved it, but Falcons, everything I've read, they're the best in rain. And and they'll be fine off-road too. So I'm looking forward to that. No, we're going to go a little bit bigger. We're going to go 285s instead of the stock 265s, and we're going to put a little bit of a lift. I think the 1.2-inch option for the 6112s in the front. So just to get just insurance, just to get a little bit more clearance on those tires. But I think we should be okay. I don't think we're going to get any rub. And then we had ordered an RTT with the hope that it was, when did we order this? August? Beginning of August, something like that. And we were hoping that we'd have it in time for a cycling event that I did in the beginning of September. It did not arrive on time. It shipped late and then proceeded to be lost in shipment, which wasn't good. Yeah. So I've, The sellers has been great. They've refunded my money. They did a valiant effort to try and locate it, and unfortunately, the freight forwarding company T-Force that they chose for this, not the best option. So I would highly recommend anyone listening to this video do not use T-Force for LTL. Please don't. Especially if it might end up going through Portland in their South Portland facility, which has, I've been there. I was there last week. It has zero security, nothing. Nothing. It would be and I'm absolutely convinced a dock worker saw this, decided, hey, I could use one of these, and took the crate and just backed up his pickup truck and just dropped the crate with a forklift in the back of his pickup truck and drove away, because barely anybody working there and nobody's paying any attention to anything. So, yeah. Anyway, and if anybody did see it, I'm sure he probably is friends with the guy who stole it. So, yeah, there's that. So, but I've been refunded. I'm still probably going to buy that same tent from that same seller, but it's probably not going to be until next year. And it's absolutely not going to use T-Force as the carrier for it. God, no. Please, no. So, yeah, my recommendation is only use FedEx Freight, because I've had nothing but good experiences with them. They're terrific. And everything's arrived in one piece, on time. It's been great. So, yeah, that's just consider that a PSA. Okay, so I think that's it. So, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, leave them in comments. I'll do my best to answer. Thanks so much. See ya.